All right, check this out. This clip right here, this was the first time that we saw our main character leap through the trees. And I was like, hold up, stop the presses, boys. We may actually have something here. Was it the first time a video game character has parkoured through trees? Of course not. Parkour's been in games forever. But that doesn't mean that we can't iterate on the genre, because damn, it turns out that ours was really fun to play. That's when we realized, as a team, movement shouldn't just be a feature, it had to be a pillar. But let's go back a little further and break down why most movement feels safe, how we broke that pattern, and what it took to make our world feel alive under your feet. Let's go. Now, we started just like every other game, a gray box mess of experimentation in engine. Movement's tricky. Whether it's wonky collision detection or weird physics, if it's not fluid, it dulls the immersion. Sprints that stop awkwardly and little stuff that eats your momentum is no good. Don't even get me started with climbing in games. It's inherently slow, it's prescriptive, and so many games just make you hold the stick towards whatever yellow paint is telling you and where you can go next. It's easy to criticize that. It's also hard to solve it. So yeah, every game needs the basics, right? Walk, sprint, jump, climb. But we wanted to build movement that didn't just hit a checklist, because checklist games often miss the feel, which is the cadence between each of those states. It's not bad, it's just like a missed opportunity. Like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Movement means freedom, and we knew early on that we wanted movement to be a form of player expression. So first, the premise of our game is simple. Tale's Edge is an action-adventure RPG. It's based in a gritty world of shared Grimm's fairy tales. So think Shrek, but way darker, grittier, and dangerous. Like the actual ancient fairy tales that these things are based on. Now, our hero is a teenage Red Riding Hood. She's 16, and she's been raised by the huntsman that saves her from the wolf in her fable. So he then teaches her to survive in the wilds, and she's a hunter and a survivor. So for movement, she's really a lot closer to an Olympic gymnast than anything else. And we saw opportunity there for some really cool parkour, both in and out of combat. Okay, you might be saying to yourself, hey, that looks a lot like Assassin's Creed, and you wouldn't be wrong. AC is clearly known for their parkour, and yes, some titles did this a lot better than others, but they did pretty much define the genre. So even back to the very first Assassin's Creed, was it smooth? Absolutely not. But it felt different and fresh, and that was special, and we are leaning into that feeling. Also, let's take a close look at Horizon, right? There's tons of care put into movement in that game. The world has scale, and Aloy has grace and momentum and freedom. She's a grown woman, so it's different from our game. Like, she kind of moves like a mountain lion. And our hero, on the other hand, Red, she's a lot closer to a squirrel. So one day, it clicked. One prototype, just a quick clip of Red jumping between trees. We all felt it. That moment changed everything here, because suddenly the possibility of playing this whole game in the trees became a reality. And crazy trees too, set in Grimm's fairy tale world that are gnarly and expansive. There was now more choice for the player than just a basic moveset and more freedom. It was unlocking a character truth. Red is an underdog. She's not a tank. She's not an expertly trained assassin. She's agile, she's disciplined, and sometimes desperate, but she knows how to survive. She's also clever, because our players are clever. And we coded her to move that way because it's fun. And suddenly, our environments weren't just backgrounds. They were tools, weapons, traps, escape routes. And movement became a form of expression for our playtesters. This is the part that truly matters most. We didn't want to just make her fast. We wanted to allow our players to improvise. She scurries and vaults and scrambles. It's cool. We even took that one step further and adapted the awesome line from the John Wick ballerina trailer, where the trainer says, "You will always be weaker, you will always be smaller. And if you want to win, improvise, adapt, and cheat." Because that sums up our gameplay philosophy perfectly. We built that right into our core gameplay loop. So her movement isn't a skill tree, it's a pillar in the game. Now, one thing I didn't expect was the limitations of Unreal Engine when it comes to movement. Unreal, in an attempt to make movement easier and faster for developers, inadvertently began to make all games that are made in their engine move and feel the same. So we have to break that and then build our own feel. All the dev footage you see here, it's very simple. It's a mix of some custom blockouts that our lead animator has done and some stock stuff just to get the gameplay feel right. And that's because animation polish typically comes a lot later in development. Using Unreal risks sameness, blend trees, default transitions, and animation packs. So if you're not intentional, then you'll end up with a character who animates really well, but not uniquely. And that opens up an even bigger question. Where do you draw the line between realism and immersion in gameplay? Personally, I think pushing for crazy realism cripples imagination. We've already seen real life. We live it every day. We know what moving through normal forests looks like. We don't need to rebuild that. And on the other hand, jumping 20 feet in the air and moving impossibly fast, that has its place in games, but it also kills immersion. So where's the middle ground? How do you unlock the fun? And this led to us asking a pretty tough question. Can we design a hero that doesn't move like other characters we've played before? It's a tall order, but we're pursuing it. And we're not there yet, but it all starts with goals. So some people will play Red, so she's bouncing off walls in orchestrated chaos. Some people are going to have her be a methodical and stone cold killer, and others will improvise using the environment to solve challenges. And then some will never use the mechanic at all. They'll fight knives out, and that's okay too, because it's all about choice. The choice of a player to embrace a mechanic or not. This approach changed how we built everything, from enemies to level design, even the story. Because when you move like this, you play differently, you think differently, and you are different. No one's ever going to reinvent movement in games, but some will take it very seriously. Because in a world that's as dangerous as the one that we're building, you don't fight to win, you move to survive. If this resonates with you, come join us. Our Dev Club playtesters have helped shape this game from day one. You can too. Our journey's still going. We're still learning as we go. So if you've ever played a game that made movement mechanics come as naturally as breathing, or you want to, join our Discord or Dev Club, or follow us in the links below. We want to hear from you. And if you dig what we're doing here, toss us a sub, drop a comment, check out our last video too, which we focused on what makes monsters truly terrifying. We'll see you in the trees.